Day 147, Royal Kingdom, 1 Kings 5, 2 Chronicles 7 through 8, Psalm 65. Let's begin. 1 Kings 5. Hiram, the king of Tyre, also sent his servants to Solomon. For he heard that they had anointed him king in place of his father. Now Hiram had been a friend to David the entire time. Then Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, You know the will of my father David, and that he was not able to build a house to the name of the Lord his God, because of the wars that were imminent all around him, until the Lord set them under the steps of his feet. But now the Lord my God has given rest to me on all sides, and there is no adversary, nor occurrence of evil. For this reason, I intend to build a temple to the name of the Lord my God, just as the Lord spoke to my father David, saying, Your son, whom I will set in your place, upon your throne, he himself shall build a house to my name. Therefore, order that your servants may cut down for me cedars from Lebanon. And let my servants be with your servants. Then I will give to you, for the wages of your servants, whatever you will ask. For you know that there is not a man among my people who knows how to cut wood as well as the Sidonians. Therefore, when Hiram had heard the words of Solomon, he rejoiced greatly, and he said, Blessed be the Lord God this day, who gave to David a very wise son over this numerous people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have heard the things that you would entrust to me, and I will do your whole will concerning the cedar trees and spruce trees. My servants shall bring them down from Lebanon to the sea, and I will arrange them together as rafts on the sea, as far as the place that you will indicate to me. And I will land them there, and you will take them. And you shall offer to me what is necessary to give food to my house. And so Hiram gave to Solomon cedar trees and spruce trees, in accord with his whole will. Then Solomon offered to Hiram 20,000 cor of wheat, as food for his house, and 20 cor of the purest oil. These things Solomon gave as a tribute to Hiram every year. And the Lord gave wisdom to Solomon, just as he said to him. And there was peace between Hiram and Solomon, and the two struck a pact. And King Solomon chose workers from all of Israel, and the conscription was of 30,000 men. And he sent them into Lebanon, 10,000 each month, in turns, so that for 2 months they were in their own houses. And Adoniram was over this type of conscription. And Solomon had 70,000 of those who were carrying burdens, and 80,000 of those who cut stones from the mountain. Aside from the commanders who were over each work, in number 3,300, who gave orders to the people and to those who were doing the work. And the king ordered them to bring great stones, precious stones, for the foundation of the temple, and to square them. And these were shaped by the stoneworkers of Solomon, and the stoneworkers of Hiram. And the men of Jebel also prepared the wood and the stones in order to build the house. 2 Chronicles 7:8. And when Solomon had completed pouring out his prayers, fire descended from heaven, and it devoured the holocausts and the victims. And the majesty of the Lord filled the house. Neither were the priests able to enter into the temple of the Lord, because the majesty of the Lord had filled the temple of the Lord. Moreover, all the sons of Israel saw the fire descending, and the glory of the Lord upon the house. And falling prone upon the ground, on the layer of pavement stones, they adored and praised the Lord, for he is good. For his mercy is everlasting. Then the king and all the people were immolating victims before the Lord. And so, King Solomon slaughtered victims, 22,000 oxen, and 120,000 rams. And the king and the entire people dedicated the house of God. Then the priests and the Levites were standing in their offices, with the instruments of music for the Lord, which King David made in order to praise the Lord, for his mercy is eternal. And they were playing the hymns of David with their hands. And the priests were sounding out with trumpets before them, and all of Israel was standing. Also, Solomon sanctified the middle of the atrium in front of the temple of the Lord. For he had offered the holocausts and the fat of peace offerings in that place because the bronze altar, which he had made, had not been able to support the holocausts, and the sacrifices and the fat. Therefore Solomon kept the solemnity, at that time, for 7 days, and all of Israel with him, a very great assembly, from the entrance of Hamath, even to the torrent of Egypt. And on the 8th day, he held a solemn gathering, because he had dedicated the altar over 7 days, and he had celebrated the solemnity over 7 days. And so, on the 23rd day of the 7th month, he dismissed the people to their dwellings, joyful and glad over the good that the Lord had done for David, and for Solomon, and for his people Israel. And Solomon completed the house of the Lord, and the house of the king, and all that he had resolved in his heart to do for the house of the Lord, and for his own house. And he prospered. Then the Lord appeared to him by night, and said, I have heard your prayer, and I have chosen this place for myself as a house of sacrifice. If I close up heaven, so that no rain will fall, or if I order and instruct the locusts to devour the land, or if I send a pestilence among my people, and if my people, over whom my name has been invoked, being converted, will have petitioned me and sought my face, and will have done penance for their wicked ways, then I will heed them from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Also, my eyes will be open, and my ears will be attentive, to the prayer of him who shall pray in this place. For I have chosen and sanctified this place, so that my name may be there continually, and so that my eyes and my heart may remain there, for all days. And as for you, if you will walk before me, just as your father David walked, and if you will act in accord with all that I have instructed you, and if you will observe my justices and judgments, I will raise up the throne of your kingdom, just as I promised to your father David, saying, There shall not be taken away a man from your stock who will be ruler in Israel. But if you will have turned away, and will have forsaken my justices and my precepts, which I have set before you, and going astray, you serve strange gods, and you adore them, I will uproot you from my land, which I gave to you, and from this house, which I sanctified to my name, and I will cast it away from before my face, and I will deliver it to be a parable and an example for all the peoples. And this house will be like a proverb to all who pass by. And being astonished, they shall say, Why has the Lord acted this way toward this land and toward this house? And they shall respond, Because they abandoned the Lord, the God of their fathers, who led them away from the land of Egypt, and they took hold of foreign gods, and they adored and worshipped them. Therefore, all these evils have overwhelmed them. Then, 20 years having passed since Solomon built the house of the Lord and his own house, he built the cities that Hiram had given to Solomon, and he caused the sons of Israel to live there. Also, he went to Hamath-zobah, and he obtained it. And he built Palmyra in the desert, and he built very fortified cities in Hamath. And he built Upper Beth-horon and Lower Beth-horon, as walled cities, having gates and bars and locks, as well as Baalath, and all the very strong cities which were of Solomon, and all the cities of the chariots, and the cities of the horsemen. Everything whatsoever that Solomon willed and decided, he built in Jerusalem, and in Lebanon, and throughout the entire land of his authority. All the people who had been left from the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, those who were not from the stock of Israel, those of their sons and their posterity whom the sons of Israel had not put to death, Solomon subjugated as tributaries, even to this day. But he did not appoint anyone from the sons of Israel to serve in the works of the king, for they were men of war, and first rulers, and commanders of his chariots and horsemen. Now all the leaders of the army of King Solomon were 250, who were instructing the people. Truly, he transferred the daughter of Pharaoh, from the city of David, to the house that he had built for her. For the king said, My wife shall not live in the house of David, king of Israel, for it has been sanctified. For the ark of the Lord has entered into it. Then Solomon offered holocausts to the Lord on the altar of the Lord, which he had constructed before the portico, so that every day there would be an offering on it, in accord with the precept of Moses, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and 3 times a year on the feast days, that is, on the solemnity of unleavened bread, and on the solemnity of weeks, and on the solemnity of tabernacles. And he appointed, in accord with the plan of his father David, the offices of the priests in their ministries, and those of the Levites, in their orders, so that they might praise and minister before the priests according to the ritual of each day, and the porters, in their divisions, from gate to gate. For so had David, the man of God, instructed. Neither the priests, nor the Levites, transgressed against the commands of the king, in all that he had instructed, and in the keeping of the treasuries. Solomon had all the expenses prepared, from the day on which he founded the house of the Lord, even until the day when he perfected it. Then Solomon went away to Ezion-Geber, and to Elath, on the coast of the Red Sea, which is in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent to him ships by the hands of his servants, sailors and skillful navigators of the sea, and they went away with the servants of Solomon to Ophir. And they took from there 450 talents of gold, and they brought it to King Solomon. Psalm 65. Unto the end. A canticle psalm of the resurrection. Shout joyfully to God, all the earth. Proclaim a psalm to his name. Give glory to his praise. Exclaim to God, how terrible are your works, O Lord! According to the fullness of your virtue, your enemies will speak lies about you. Let all the earth adore you and sing psalms to you. May it sing a psalm to your name. Draw near and see the works of God, who is terrible in his counsels over the sons of men. He converts the sea into dry land. They will cross the river on foot. There, we will rejoice in him. He rules by his virtue for eternity. His eyes gaze upon the nations. May those who exasperate him not be exalted in themselves. Bless our God, you Gentiles, and make the voice of his praise be heard. He has set my soul toward life, and he has granted that my feet may not be shaken. For you, O God, have tested us. You have examined us by fire, just as silver is examined. You have led us into a snare. You have placed tribulations on our back. You have set men over our heads. We have crossed through fire and water. And you have led us out to refreshment. I will enter your house with holocausts. I will repay my vows to you, which my lips discerned and my mouth spoke, in my tribulation. I will offer to you holocausts full of marrow, with the burnt offerings of rams. I will offer to you bulls as well as goats. Draw near and listen, all you who fear God, and I will describe to you how much he has done for my soul. I cried out to him with my mouth, and I extolled him under my breath. If I have seen iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not heed me. And yet, God has heeded me and he has attended to the voice of my supplication. Blessed is God, who has not removed my prayer, nor his mercy, from me.